Yeah. Okay, we're nearing the end now of the rags. I don't know. Happy? It's hard to be happy when you're still miserable. You know? It's hard to be happy when you're still suffering. You know what suffering does? Suffering makes you have compassion and empathy for those suffering. Those who don't suffer, they got no compassion, no empathy. It's like F them. It's everybody for themselves, which is true. My situation, now I have to explain to one of my siblings, because we keep having confrontations about how to do things and about his way and my way. I've already done things his way. You know, small gains, small hustles, just trying to eat today. Tomorrow ain't promised. Look, just like an animal. You're supposed to be evolved beings. When you're down here on this level, you get to see what is an animal, what is a house and a shelter, you get to see the essence of things. When all things are gone, took from you, stripped from you, tossed away, or however it goes down. Here's the problem with being reduced to animals like I see people. Alright? I really see them as they've been reduced to an animal level, and because they're animals, they don't even know it. Animal doesn't know it's an animal. It thinks it's an evolved creature. It thinks it's smarter than you. Here's a news flash that unless you have people in particular fields of study, there's a lot of information you don't get about anything. I'm talking about you don't know a blade of grass. You need to talk to someone. You need to talk to a botanist if you want to know what grass is and what it does, or a tree, or any of this. Don't think you know. That's why we keep having this conflict. Look, here's the problem with that day-to-day existence like an animal. In your programming, it's set up where you think there's humans, then there's animals, and it goes down, down, down on some level of size. That's not the food chain. It may be the food chain. It is not the level of rank in evolution. Insects are above animals in evolution. See, an insect is way more intelligent than any animal you can think of. I'm talking about the simplest insects are way more intelligent. An insect has enough intelligence to store food up because hard times are coming. Okay, cold days are coming. A dog does not. But you think a dog is smarter than an ant? Evolved, your best friend. Ant can't be your best friend. Can't train an ant. You know nothing about nothing. You didn't train the dog trained you. If you ever get a foreign person in your life, you will see how that dog trained you, just like that foreign person will. They'll come in, and you think they're dumb because they can't comprehend you, like a puppy or a child. You think they're dumb because they can't fully comprehend your language. But they sit there like that foreign person and learn your language. And you're so happy that they got this right and got that right, you're giving up treats and benefits for it. Patting them on the back for understanding. No one's paying you to understand things. You're getting pimped by the pet, foreigner, whoever. Do you understand? Insects should be your focus instead of animals. Walking around naming cars after animals, want to have animals on the wall, identify everybody, want to identify with their bestiality and all this here. Insects, wide variety. Okay? You would never run out of sports teams with insects. That's why those who named themselves after insects worked and have stood in the stand. Other people, hey, their names are one in a dozen. They're not going to be the only bulldog. They're not going to be the only cowboy. They're not going to be the only dolphin. Flipper will always be more famous than them, and they're even in the remake. And so, there will come a movie with a bulldog. And that bulldog will have the same image as the bulldogs, and it will become more famous than the bulldogs and make more money than the bulldogs. The dog will. Meanwhile, the mascot makes squat dog food. Man, hours ago, man. Study the insects. Even in an apocalypse, they'll teach you how to survive and how to come back. Study all the insects, the makers of your society, and this is what they did. Okay? Do you understand that ants and their tunnels and beavers and their dams? This is how it was done. Animals are cool. You learn a lot of neat things from animals, you know? How to make a nest. Okay? But you learn a lot more from insects. They're more like you. See, animals run in packs. Wow. Turn all on each other. It's all chaotic and chaos. Insects, like hives, they're organized. The honeycombs. Most animals are not. That's right. They're organized. The insects are, and you're not. They may be above you. Do you understand that once you were above all, that all these things together could not match you? Something has happened. You've been reduced. You've been de-evolved. And a smoke screen has been put up called time. It makes you think because time has passed, you had to evolve. And explain this to me. How come on the pyramid walls is better stuff than we have now? Things we're getting ready to make. How come they have these things? How come there's a big giant light bulb? You know, I've never seen a light bulb that big. We haven't made one of those yet because we could shoot the light beam. We see no need to make a bigger light bulb. But a bigger light bulb makes a bigger light. And so they make bigger bombs and bigger tanks and bigger guns. But they stop on the light bulb. You won't see lights the size of buildings much often, or the size of cars. Stadium lights, that's about as big as it gets, huh? That spotlight. Now, you have something to work with. You know the spotlight they use when the big sale is going on? That super big spotlight? Imagine if the city was surrounded by those lights. It'd be almost day at nighttime. It would literally be almost daytime. There would be so much light if they were angled right. One little balloon with a mirror on the bottom of it, way up high, would look like the sun. Simple contraption. Can't be reached by primitive minds. Got to evolve. This isn't the tell these people to kiss my butt movement. This isn't the finally we get a chance to talk movement. This is the evolution revolution. It's not about persons. It's not about themes. It's not about concepts. The reason that it is the one movement is because that's all any of us can do or handle is ourself. We can lend it of ourself as we can and repair ourself. Okay? We cannot speak for no one else. We can't even really be responsible for anything but our extensions of ourselves, our so-called children, parents, or family. That's about as all we can handle. This note will be continued. Doing things for the future is important. Animals have no concern for the future or tomorrow. Can't be an animal. You have to be more than that. You have to be more than an insect. This has been a message from the Self-Preservation Society.